and sing one, and then I'll talk to you a little bit. Okay. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Lift every voice and sing till heaven ring with harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun on Reagan, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with steady beat and the weary feet come to the place for which our help sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of His martyrs. Out from the gloomy past to stand at last, where the white gleam of a bright star is cast. God of the weary, God of silent tears, Thou hast brought us thus far on the way. Thou hast by Thy might led us to the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places of God where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the welcome, shall beneath Thy heavenly forever stand, true to our God, true to our name. So that'll tell you what kind of day this is going to be. Oh, yeah. It's just going to be black all the time, right? So obviously I grew up singing that as a kid. And I grew up singing it in different arrangements and versions in church, and then I had to just write. It was going to come out like that, so I decided to write it like that. And now we move into kind of a dance back and forth and a conversation back and forth between different composers who are setting kind of the same words and dealing with some of the similar, same concepts. as each other. We're going to have Margaret Bonds in her conversation with Langston Hughes. And I might have mentioned this in the notes, but they were buddies, right? Margaret was in college, I think it was U Chicago, and she was feeling kind of down. You know, she was like the only black student for, you know, miles around, you know. And she was feeling kind of isolated. And she read A Negro Speaks of Rivers, which we're going to do a little bit later in the program. And that was her first Langston Hughes poem. And she wrote him a letter and told him how much it meant to her. And he wrote back, and they became pen pals and then friends in real life. So that's the first conversation. And the first time that Margaret set Hughes' stuff, she said, I too sing America, which you're going to get. Negro Speaks of Rivers, she said Dream Variation by him, and Minstrel Man, and so many other poems. And I think that she really gets something about Langston Hughes' poetic kind of voice and vision that very few other people, if any, get. When I sing her versions of his poems, I feel like it's how he would have wanted it said. You know, it's beautifully, beautifully done. So this is I2 first. Okay. So then, in this set, Margaret is not only going to be in conversation with Langston Hughes, but she's also going to be in conversation a little bit with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who, English composer, a totally different palette and sensibility than Margaret or Langston. All of Coleridge-Taylor's songs on this program, at least, are very parlor songs, very genteel, very well-heeled, very uncontroversial, but they give you another taste of the black experience, right? Because Langston Hughes and his very socially probing ideas are a part of the black experience, but also so are things like being in love that's so silly and so hot that it just takes you away, you know, or writing a whole song about what it feels like to miss your beloved. These are part of the black experience, they're part of the human experience. So you're going to get kind of Bonds and then a sappy love song, and then Bonds and then the sappy love song. So this is the sappy love song. Yeah.
Oh
right? Yeah. This is one of the most perfect songs I've ever sung. I don't know what you think, but it's one of the most perfect songs I think Mark has ever played too. It's amazing. Somehow with piano and voice, Margaret makes a Technicolor, Cecil B. DeMille kind of aesthetic happen. Negro Speaks of Rivers is already an epic poem. This is an epic song. Okay. I've known And you know, I get kind of jealous of Mark because he gets to be the river. But I get the words, so it all works out. But now back to cheese. It's not a test. It's a little bit of a test, but it's not a test. Just making sure you're awake and focused. I forgot to say that there's going to be quite a few texts that also were in the morning service. So if you missed church, don't worry, we brought church to you. I think this is another Bonds, right? Yeah, surprise me. Yeah. Margaret writes in that one with this epic cinemascape of Negro Speaks of Rivers. It's just, she's so sensitive to what Langston puts in his poetry, puts in the rhythm of the words and the colors of the words. And it's almost hard to believe that the same composer wrote those two songs, you know. I think it's not cheese next, right? Just start, yeah. Weeping angel on pinions trailing, and head bowed low in your hands, morning angel with heartstrings wailing for one who in death's hall stands. Morning angel, silence your wailing and raise your head from your hands. Weeping angel on your pinions trailing, the white dove promise stands. Weeping angel with pinions trailing and head bowed low in your hands. Morning angel with heartstrings wailing for who in death's hall stands. Morning angel, silence your wailing and raise your head from your hands. Weeping angel on your pinions trailing, the white dove promise stands. So William Grant Still and I go way back. I first learned about him and heard his music when I was about 11. My father, amongst his other many sins, is an ethnomusicologist, which means that he uses lots of big words to talk about music, let's put it that way. And when I was a kid, he organized a whole week-long symposium just on William Grant Still's music, because he was then, as he is now, underappreciated and underknown. Just incredible music, you know. It's a 3-page little song. It's very sparse in the piano, and yet there's this whole kind of world. And the song is called Brief, but it's also called Weeping Angel, which is of course the first 2 words in the song. And the poetry was written by the spouse of a student of his. And so they, you know, she helped him make the connection, and he wrote this song, and it's just a little jewel. You know, I like this game of you starting and then me just jumping in. That's nice, I like it. Oh yeah, I like to play drop the needle with Mark a little. But yeah, it's this time the conversation is, well, to be self-aggrandizing, the conversation is with Baby James and these composers that I learned about. And you know, I never grew up. I grew up as a violinist, as some of you know, and I didn't grow up playing black composers because my teachers didn't either know the music or didn't care to give it to me. And so I was lucky because, you know, my parents were in the arts, and so they had inroads to these underappreciated composers. Yeah, it's a shame when any prejudice keeps us from enjoying the treasures that humans have made over the centuries, right? Yeah. We're going to get another surprise treasure. He's going to drop the needle on me now. To fling my arms in some So now the conversation is between Margaret Bonds and Langston Hughes and Florence Price, right? So just imagine, see if you can remember the wild, kind of jazzy, lounge piano kind of thing that Margaret made of that. You know, she says, to fling my arms wide, in some place in the sun, to whirl and to dance, till the white day is done. And her teacher, Florence Price, says, to fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done. They have a completely different feel for not only the rhythm, but the texture, the color of the poem. And I think they're both equally valid. Margaret actually, in terms of continuing this theme of conversation, Margaret introduced Florence to Langston. So she made friends with Langston first, and then she was like, oh hey, you know, I know somebody. My teacher's pretty good, you know. And you know, Florence is just incredible, but it's just a different way of seeing the world. A different way of seeing this world that Langston Hughes has made in this poem. I have a lot of affection for that song. That's also the first time we've done that in public, so that's nice. Yeah, playing Drop the Needle has benefits and drawbacks sometimes, but sometimes we're both surprised. Yeah, let's keep going. It's just a jewel, you know. All of the colors in the poetry and the harmonies that she chooses. You know, I think of her as a little bit also in conversation in that song with what William Grant still does in Grief. They both kind of lock into that like short, sweet song, very short poem, very simple poem, with this perfumed harmony. It's just arresting to me. That's one of the harder ones with Drop the Needle. Drop the Needle, because he plays like 4 notes before I come in. I'm like, you know, it's good for us to keep on our toes. It keeps the blood up, you know. But now I think, isn't it Ellington now? Yeah, nice. This is one of mine, but Ellington first, obviously.
Please look down and see my
dawn of love. Please look down the I really enjoy that Ellington was such an iconoclast in his way of looking at music. You know, he didn't believe in genres, you know, different genres of styles. He was like, it's good music or it's bad music. You know, you take it or you leave it, right? And I enjoy that not only when I'm listening to his stuff and arranging his stuff, but also when, you know, writing my own stuff. You know, this idea that this box or this box is important versus just getting on with it, just doing the work. This is also a callback to this morning for those of you, if you know, you know. Just gotta do the work. Don't worry about the box that it falls into. Just make sure the work is good work. Good trouble, not bad trouble. Yeah, let's keep going. I think, is this another still? This is here's one. Okay, so this was the first piece of still that I played on the violin. And this version, obviously, is for voice and piano. And there was a legendary baritone in the Boston area a little while back named Robert Honeysucker. And he was just magnificent. Just magnificent man, you know, person, singer. And he passed unexpectedly on the way to a gig. He was working, you know. And he passed back in 2014. And I was still living in Boston at the time. And Bob helped me and so many other black singers get their first gigs out of school. You know, he was just selfless like that. You know, and he and his wife, Nordico, were just, they left a legacy of community and kindness and decency that, you know, touched so many in the performing arts community and outside of it. And so when Bob passed, we were all, you know, toe up. And I think it was a year later I was asked to sing in a memorial concert for him. And I reached out to Noriko because I knew this song in the violin arrangement, which is in a different key and for violin, you know. And, but I remember hearing her and Bob do this song on their recitals. And he just sang everything with this kind of granite, resolute conviction and authority and authenticity. And in this song, it would just tear your heart out, you know. And so I asked her if there was a way that I could get a hold of the key that they used, the arrangement that they used. And you know, I was like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sure this brings back some memories, you know. And she sent me her handwritten score for the arrangement. And you know, I definitely cried a little bit when I got it, but you know, with all of her notes, you know, for doing it with Bob, and yeah, it was a beautiful thing. And I think about it every time I sing it because the song talks about, it's about being convicted in what you're doing. You know, the first words it says, you know, talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here's one. Here's one. And you would sing those words with this kind of just conviction, you know, that would grab me. And it grabs me even though, you know, I'm a preacher's kid and so I'm a defected church kid, you know. But it gets me even now. So this is Here's One by Bowie and Grant Still. Talk about a child. gospel story. I've been walking up the path to glory. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Is Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Innocent and snares I once was falling, but I heard the voice of my own calling. Talk about a child that's been converted. So that's the joy of being able to walk in some of these great footsteps, you know. You get to sing the words that they sang, you get to taste this music that they lived in. It's a beautiful thing. And that's a conversation with Baby James back in the day. I think now it's more Florence. Yeah. And this one, if you trail your eye down the program, you'll see that she's in conversation with me. So, or rather, I think I'm in conversation with her. But yeah, this is Hope Fast. For your dreams die. They were probably used to being compared. They probably hated it. I know they hated it. It's not a problem, but they hated it. And they had a complicated relationship because they weren't just teacher Florence and student Margaret, but they were also, kind of quasi mother and daughter. And, sometimes we fight. Sometimes we fight with our parents. But they also are clearly in different musical worlds. I think of Florence as having the ability to do a lot of the coloristic things, swift changes in mood and color. But I think of her more as a traditional kind of piano virtuoso, writing a lot of things that are that lie very easily. Not easily, perhaps, but lie very straightforwardly under the fingers. I don't want to slander him because he's doing a really good job with really hard music, but they're more straightforward in terms of, they remind you of things that Dvorak wrote, or, Schubert even sometimes. Whereas with Margaret, she's on a totally different, she's in a different stratosphere in terms of flexibility, in terms of ingenuity, in terms of pulling out a harmony or a texture that you never would have thought of. And they're both geniuses in their own right. But when they converse with each other, it's really fun to see how they look at the same poet and they're like, no, I think this is the way it goes. Oh, no, I think this is the way it goes. And for those of you who were here this morning, sometimes one person might have a different memory of something. One person might have another memory of something. This is an instance where, if you argue using music, it doesn't hurt anybody. I think we all benefit. So I like to pit them against each other on a program, hopefully not in real life. But that is also the first time we've done that for people. So yeah, thank you. So now we continue with conversations. I think now, is it me? Oh my God, it's me. We heard some of these poems and some of these songs in the morning. The first one and the last one in the set we did this morning. And I think it was Aaron chose for one of the readings, Dreams, which is also in this set. And you're going to get a conversation. One of these poems, obviously, is Hold Fast Dreams, which we just heard from Florence. So I get to talk with her a little bit. And then Minstrel Man, you see it's Margaret over there. So I was greedy. I wanted to talk to both of them. Hold fast to talking explicitly about and to black people. You know, not every poet would be like, night coming tenderly, black like me, right? It's very explicit. But I also love that in the Dreamkeeper and other poems, this is the book that all these poems come from, he wrote that book for kids. And so every poem is quite short, but also quite meaningful and powerful. Because, of course, kids can handle tough concepts just as well or better than we can. And in those poems, he rarely says, you know, black or white. And I kind of love that because, you know, we teach children bigotries and inequalities and phobias. You know, they don't come out of the box like that. You know, they don't come out of the packaging like that. So I love that he says, talks about things that all of us have. You know, the night is beautiful, so are the souls of my people, so are the eyes of my people. I love that. It's such a perfect poem. You know, and it was one of the great pleasures of my life when I wrote those back in 2015 or so, to sing them to kids in the Boston public school system. Some of them were my students, which was that's a tough crowd. And I got to do it actually. Did it for the first time. I did them with Mark for the first time. So way back then, yeah, right. That was in the jungle, you know, in a cafeteria, with a beat up old upright that would never sound good. But yeah, it was an adventure. But yeah, and thank you for letting me kind of bring you into my conversation with these two amazing ladies. You know, let's bring it on home. I think. Is it more me? Oh yeah, this is kind of arrogant of me, but whatever. This is a setting of Lucille Clifton. And those of you who know me know that I love her so much. This is a poem of hers called Blessing the Boats. And I say this every time. If you don't know Lucille's poetry, you should leave as soon as we're done. No. And look it up and read it. It will feed your spirit so much. This is Blessing the Boats. that I can converse with Lucille Clifton in this way. And it is also one of my most prized possessions, an actual photograph, a physical photograph. You know, we have those. You know. It's a physical photograph of me and my brother in the foreground as kids, and in the background you can see Lucille Clifton signing a book of her poetry for my mom. So we, you know, that was. I wish I'd been older. I was like 9, but you know, I wish I'd been aware of her. You know, I knew she was great, but I didn't know what kind of great she was. But so I carry her with me wherever I go. And I think we're in the home stretch. Yeah, this is almost the end of our time together. Last year. And it's so nice, we gotta do it twice. So, yeah.